It's time for another Second Sight Films. This time we have The Ugly Stepsister on 4K. Now, I had heard about this one and some of the nominations that it got in major awards, festivals and things like that, and I had a rough understanding of what this was. I wasn't quite prepared entirely for what I was given. This is told from the perspective of Cinderella's overlooked and ridiculed stepsister. It's a savage fairy tale that reimagines and transforms the pursuit of beauty into a grotesque battlefield. Desperate to compete in a world obsessed by appearance and stature, she submits herself to increasingly painful transformations in a determination to be seen, desired, and chosen at any cost. And it is all kinds of disturbing. It filled me with anxiety. I felt this underlying tension all the way through it. It has some wonderfully pertinent points and delivers a lavish, beautiful film with an extremely ugly underbelly.
Un, deux, trois!
I think one of the biggest aspects for me is the fact that it isn't interested in sweet revisionism of the Cinderella story. It's acidic, it's anxious, it's really uncomfortable. It's weaponising this fairy tale iconography and skewing it with body image, and it very much leans into body horror. This isn't for the queasy audience. There are some horrific things going on there. You're meant to feel the desperation that Elvira has throughout this one. You're meant to see it from her perspective, which completely skews the story.
Om det inte var för pengarna så skulle pappa aldrig haft något med sådana som er att göra.
I love the idea as the body horror is kind of social commentary, the cosmetic alterations that she undergoes, the self-loathing that she has, the kind of story that she has throughout the film is wonderful. Elvira, as she starts the film, is she's joyful, she's fun, she's friendly, she's a lovely person. So just on the outside, she's not what is perceived to be conventionally attractive. Absolutely nothing wrong with her. And it has this duality of story as she changes herself, as she becomes more beautiful on the outside, as she changes her appearance and her body shape, she becomes more twisted and horrific and just utterly abhorrent on the inside. The beauty on the outside has taken away the beauty from her inside.
Jag ska gå på balen, ni kan inte stoppa mig. Släpp den! Släpp den!
What I really like is how it changes certain aspects throughout the story. Yes, we get the perspective of the ugly stepsister Elvira. We get to see Cinderella's story where she's not squeaky clean either. She's a little bit different, a little bit twisted, and someone who's probably got by on her looks a little bit as well. You've got Prince, not so charming, who is really obnoxious as well. We see him in a couple of scenes and realise just what a terrible prize this person is.
Har du läst Prinsens poesi?
Jag är gift med en man.
The competition between women, they are pitted against each other in a ferocious combat of looks, of stature, of how you are perceived. There is a joyous negativity by some of the matriarchal figures here as they pull people down, as they take great pleasure in crushing people's dreams, of telling them that they're not good enough. And I love that aspect of showing what should be sisterhood and uplifting is taken down to one-upmanship and just beating each other for the sake of it, to take a little bit pleasure in somebody's downfall.
Jag ville inte ha dig. Din mamma har betalat mig, pravda?
The production values were absolutely wonderful here. I loved the settings and the costuming. It was brilliant. The production design is absolutely fantastic, but it has this beautiful surface, but a kind of grotesque physical detail. When you start looking closely at things, you see how they're a little bit skewed, a little bit different, a little bit twisted. It's got this darkly comedic timing throughout it as well, where it's kind of like a laugh escapes before you realise you're laughing at something, but ultimately you realise what you're laughing at is kind of horrible and disgusting at the same time. It feels like the substance, but with twisted folklore as well. I love this one. It made me deeply uncomfortable watching it. There are some horrific sequences. It's filled with emotion and anxiety, and I think it is incredibly pertinent with its thematics as well. Great film, great presentation, lovely 4K. Let's dive into the disc and have a look at the extras. Here we are in the disc for The Ugly Stepsister. Let's go to the extras. First up, we have a commentary with the director and filmmaker. Then we have a second commentary by Megan Navarro. And then we have This Is My Ball, an interview with the director, which runs for 34 minutes, 29 seconds. Excellent conversation. I love the idea of creative naps. Hell, I love the idea of naps in general. Her talking about getting this movie off the ground, what she had to work with, the kind of limited budget, but making the best of it, the crew and the cast. Great talking head. Next, we have Generational Trauma, an interview with actor Leah Merton. And this is 19 minutes, 8 seconds. And of course, she's talking about playing Elvira in the film, how it's such a wonderfully subversive take on Cinderella, how this was a fantastic role and how she really got into the mindset of this character. Then we have Take Up Space, an interview with actor Thea Sophie Loch-Nice. And this is 40 minutes, 33 seconds. She plays Cinderella in the film. She talks about first hearing about this a number of years ago, really delving in to play the part, how she loved it as well, how it wasn't a squeaky clean Cinderella. Then we have Character and Gore, an interview with effects artist Thomas Foldberg, which runs for 18 minutes, and this is one of the most chill people you'll ever meet, talking about how he's not really a fan of gore, but how his makeup really elevated the film and was incredibly effective, which leads to the beauty of ugly, the effects in The Ugly Stepsister, which is 11 minutes, 12 seconds, and talks about how he created some of the effects, showing prosthetics and talking us through the process, which was great. Then we have A Cinderella Story, Cat Hughes on The Ugly Stepsister. This is a visual essay that runs for 18 minutes, 2 seconds, and talks about how this is a really subversive version of Cinderella, but how it really layers in these pertinent themes that are just wonderful and expansive for the story it's telling. Then we have A Deleted Scene, and we have How Do You Like My Hair, which is a short film that runs at 10 minutes, 48 seconds. And we have Sarah's Intimate Confession, another short film that runs at 21 minutes, 53 seconds, which both look at body shape and how it impacts life, and how being just a little bit different from what is perceived to be the most beautiful body shape can really affect someone. And that's the on-disc extras. There is, of course, a 118-page book that comes with this, with some great essays in it. It's got some storyboard comparisons as well. It is another extensive read, and that is the extras for The Ugly Stepsister. So there we have it. The Ugly Stepsister is out now. It's a film from 2025. I think the 4K is terrific. The film is bold, queasy, and darkly funny. It's a fairy tale turned inside out and forced to confront the violence beneath its fantasy, which I think is a great take on this one. I really enjoyed The Ugly Stepsister for the most part, apart from the way it made me feel. It's a period set nightmare about modern obsessions. I think everybody should check out Wonderful. I'd love to know your thoughts on The Ugly Stepsister. Let me know in the comment box below whether you thought it was great, whether you hated it, whether you somewhere in the middle. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff if you're interested. As always, there are links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com, always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching. See you next time.